What's up, everybody? It's Chris here. Been a minute. I've been having some health issues, but I am back, and I'm joined by a very special guest today that I'll get into in just a minute. In this episode, we're going to talk about how VeVe MCP was delayed from somebody who actually hosted the community update that talked around this. We're going to be talking about how the Trump NFTs made millions on the Polygon network and some major Web3 news. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and bring them on up. Welcome to the channel. I'm sure you're already familiar with them if you're subscribed to my channel, whether that be following me on Twitter or following me on YouTube. But the man who needs no introduction, Kyle Wilson. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
Bro, how come on your channel you look like you're like above 1080, but when you come on my channel, you're like filming with a potato?
I think it's just StreamYard downgrades the quality a little bit.
Dang, man.
Yeah, well, I'm typically running OBS, so it's like 4K or 2K or something like that. So StreamYard, it's just these platforms typically have like their limitations and stuff.
Yeah, man, you're in the 3-digit mint right now, bro. You're not running in 4K, you're running like 400.
Yeah, I blame it on StreamYard.
So. Oh, StreamYard. We can mix it up next time. So this isn't mine and Kyle's first hurrah. We've done like probably 4 lives together. It's been awesome every single time. I'm thinking that we need to make a podcast, man, because we talk about a range of topics, striving from, of course, a lot VeVe stuff, talking about just things that are happening in crypto, things that are happening in NFTs. So I don't know, maybe if anybody's interested, definitely like leave a comment below or later if you think we should do a podcast, kind of cut these episodes into like their own podcasts to listen to. Would you be down to do something like that, Kyle?
Yeah, totally. People are saying my screen is black. That's weird. They said they can't see me.
Man. I'm just faking it. Kyle's not really here. It's just somebody with a voiceover or the voice changer.
Yeah,
You can leave and come back. I don't know if that'll help or whatever you think. I'll go ahead and look at some people in the comments. Just want to say hey to. We got SoCal homies, sup fellas. I sent you a gift recently, SoCal. So I don't know if you got it, a little Christmas present. But be checking out about that. Blockchain Comics said, "What delays we going to Moon, baby?" I'm actually going to talk with Kyle about that. Kyle is the one that streamed the entire thing. You look a lot better now, Kyle. You went from like 400 to like 720.
Did it really? Did it change?
Yeah. You're solid 720 now. I can actually like see you smile. I can see your view.
Oh, that's weird.
Background.
That's really strange. Yeah.
I just want to say hey to some people real quick. I got Tito. Where's Kyle? He's here now. Yeah, I see that they're saying black. JTAO. So yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. Just kind of like talking about some of the things that happened. So recently, VeVe did a new thing to where they did spaces, like introducing the team. And I saw that you actually live streamed the whole thing so that YouTube could also see it opposed to just Twitter. I've been down for the count these last few days, so I'm not going to lie. I haven't been able to listen to it yet, but apparently there's a lot of things that came out of it. One of the things was apparently an MCP delay that I want to ask your opinion about. Other than that, I just heard "F you, Alex." I don't know, some random account just got up there. It was like "F you, Alex," and got down. You just want to talk a little bit about that VeVe Chats Meet Product Director Mitch and like what you got out of it, because again, we literally watched you watch the whole thing, so kind of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was, for me, my expectations were more about Mitch and his scope of work and what he's working on in terms of the roadmap. And basically what he talked about was essentially, in the beginning, at least, just that, like the scope of his work, what he's doing, and kind of like laying out some expectations as well. Which were good. And then he started getting into the nitty gritty, man. And that's when things kind of went, in my opinion, sideways a little bit, not going to lie. All right. So I think VeVe knows it went kind of sideways as well, with a couple of nons hopping up there and Frank, of course. But
real quick, can you tell us how it went sideways, or are you about to jump into that? Because I haven't had time to go back and listen yet.
Yeah. So the rando jumped up there. Well, first of all, I think they talked about, I'm not sure when they talked about the delays. I can't remember if that was before or after, but I'll kind of recite what I remember from it. The rando jumped up there, and I think Mitch probably laid out timelines first, so that he mentioned, the development timelines, how they try to lay them out in certain milestones with deadlines, and they go by a week per week basis or something like to that degree. And he basically just said there are some issues that came to the forefront, so they had to push back, MCP by a cadence of a couple of weeks or a few weeks instead of like months. So he said the time horizon for that is just pushed back by weeks and not months. So
that's not bad.
That's kind of what his verbiage was. It wasn't bad. I didn't receive it as bad, but some community people did. They're like, oh, more delays, and the FUD cycle ensues. So, I mean, he was pretty transparent. So it's not like it was an entire, L. It was a big W in terms of there's somebody there taking care of development timelines and roadmap. So in terms of that, that's something you want to see in a project you care a lot about. So I liked it in terms of that. But that's kind of when it went a little sideways with the rando coming up on stage. They picked him, and I was like, "F you, Alex," or something like to that degree. Which was, it happens.
I saw that clip.
It's Spaces. It's gonna happen. And then Frank kind of cemented the sidewaysness with his comments about which to his credit, I think his concerns were the handling of artists. So maybe not the maybe best way to bring it up in a space, but nonetheless, like he did have maybe some valid points there of maybe bringing on him as an advisor, possibly, I don't know, or maybe consulting with him. He didn't say or pitch that. He just mentioned like, hey, people are DMing me about the Labbits. Like, what are we going to do about this? Like, what are like, do you guys have a program for artists specifically so we can lay out our like roadmap essentially, or our program to our people that are excited about our Labbits and our artists such as himself and Jermaine Rogers. And so he kind of brought that up, but the way he brought it up was kind of like weird in the sense that's like maybe that's not the appropriate space to bring it up in, because we're talking about like Mitch. But it was interesting nonetheless, and I think maybe Frank had some valid points about VeVe handling of artists, maybe programs, things like that. So it's not entirely like I don't want to discount Frank at all. Maybe not the best place to bring it up, but at the same time, maybe VeVe should smooth that over a little bit. So Mitch kind of smooth that out with Frank a little bit. And then they just answered more questions from the audience. I think one guy was like a support ticket question, like what am I going to do with my account, 2FA issue, and some other randomness aside from that. So that was kind of the meat and potatoes of the whole space, I think. So yeah.
So Frank took an opportunity and ran with it, but it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just kind of like hey,
he took a stab, pun intended.
Okay, so it was pretty harsh. Like would you say that it was pretty like it's kind of weird to me that it wasn't already handled behind closed doors. Why he would have to get up on a space and talk about it unless it was just for attention.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be one or the other. Frank comes from Clubhouse, which is a audio, it's like people. Yeah,
it's Twitter Spaces, but not as good.
Right. Well, to people that might not know, Clubhouse is like like Twitter Spaces, but like just an app by itself. So Frank came from that, and I kind of wonder, like, I don't know if he knows the etiquette of Spaces and the differences. So maybe that's what it was. Like he thought he was comfortable bringing it up in maybe like a space. He thought maybe the space was more chill, quote unquote. And I think maybe that's why he brought it up there, because he's like, I'm buddy with VeVe. Maybe I can bring up, anything in Spaces. But this was more of a formal space, as we all know, in Spaces. And maybe he didn't know. I don't know. There's just like too many unknowns there. But it was interesting nonetheless. I mean, it was some excitement that, some drama, I was like, ooh, what is that? Something to do in the bear market, I guess. I don't know.
I wonder if they're going to try to close the spaces more in the future after this, kind of like gate it a little bit more or something like that. But, or maybe they like the spice and maybe it was like, okay, more people are talking about it. I don't know.
I mean, it could, like it could be one of those things like, any press is kind of good press, and maybe that actually helps Frank, who knows? And maybe that helps independent artists, and maybe people like turn their heads again. And Frank runs Kid Robot. He kind of knows what he's doing. So if I was VeVe, I'd smooth that out with Frank for sure.
Dude,
And he probably does have relationships with other artists too.
I don't know if I've ever publicly said this. I had what's his name? A huge artist, like musician, that was almost willing to come on my channel because he was such a big follower of Frank Kozik, but he had some underlying issues with it as well. God, I can't remember it. It's like a significant band. Like everybody would know it, but it would have been
Day? Huh.
no, it'd have been so cool if I could have got them on my channel because, like, you know, we could have talked about VeVe, and this they have millions of followers. So that would have been really cool. But yeah, they had a little bit. There was some underlying drama with that. Sorry, I'm trying to look it up because I can't remember. And
Yeah,
it's
but
telling me that I can't remember. But
yeah, Blockchain Comics says Frank was boss, takes no BS. Yeah, I mean he's old school. He's an older guy. That's just how he runs stuff, and you got to respect the guy. I mean, again, maybe not the best way to bring it up. Maybe a DM could suffice, but
yeah,
who knows? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm like, you know, for me, it's not my cup of tea bringing it up, but at the same time, it was interesting. It was funny to hear that. And you know, Frank had a point. So I don't know. I'm like undecided on it.
I can honestly just like change this whole title and just be like, Kyle Wilson says that Frank goes off on VeVe. And like,
Frank goes ballistic on VeVe.
Yeah. For the title after we're done with this episode, and maybe people will actually watch it. Like, oh,
maybe Frank would watch it. I think Frank would watch it.
Frank and VeVe drama. I need to go watch that. Cool, man. So if anybody wants to watch the full thing, it's Kyle did stream it on his channel. It's under huge VeVe roadmap updates imminent. And it has, as you see, hour and 12 minutes. And it goes through the whole thing.
I reacted to Randy at the very end too, because Randy was streaming, I think, too, but he reacted to the rando guy, so I like reacted to funny. It, just kind of laughed about it.
Reaction to a reaction. I like your little B-roll over here, man. Like your little side camera that shows like what else is going on in the house, man.
That's thanks, man. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hopefully one day we'll have like the entire office just decked out like a stream office, like you'd see on big channels. But that's like long-term vision, long-term goal.
Yeah, dude, we got kids to like who like take up our space in our rooms and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe that's, you know, I've been flirting around with maybe like an NFT dads podcast, or like I'm sure crypto dads is already a thing. I don't know, some type of like parent and crypto and NFT content, man. I don't know.
There's VeVe Bros. Yeah, we could do VeVe dads. Bros. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're their dads. We're granted
Web3 dads.
Yeah, Web3 dads. Yeah, if you're not a parent, then you can just be our kids, or you can be our dad, I guess.
Jeff can be our dad.
Oh man. So there's a lot of other stuff going on. The VeVe MCP delay, a couple weeks. It sucked. SoCal said it earlier. It just kind of sucks that it happened at the end of the year. I feel like if this would have happened like a month ago, you know, it'd been like, okay, cool, we're still getting it by end of the year. I feel like it's that psychology, you know, of like really wanting something big to happen by the end of the year. And even if it is just a few weeks, it's kind of, man, you know, we were kind of lingering about this all 2022, and that really wrapped up 2022. But I don't know, man. I go back and forth because like I'm not a dev at all. I've done a little bit of studying on JavaScript and Solidity, but like bare minimum. But like I hear a lot of times, like you never know in tech, you know, what could go wrong and for deadlines, and it's super hard to hit. But I see people like, you know, your favorite person ever, like Alex Becker, and he's like, dude, we haven't missed a deadline in 10 years. And if I ever hired a dev that missed a deadline, we'd fire him. Like, I'm just like, okay, well, if there's truth, which I'm sure there is, I don't know why he'd lie about that, then okay, maybe devs can complete things on time. Because I just feel like in the Web3 space, it's just like assumed that things can't be done on time. But like, what if they can? You know, so I don't know. It's a psychology though of like, it would have been a good way to end the year. But in hindsight, like a couple weeks isn't really that big of a deal. It just kind of sucks because like people were like being led on about it.
Yeah, it's something like. And I'll say it publicly, is like we needed Mitch like a year and a half ago or a year ago. And then I think things would have fell into place a little bit more. I think there's a new CTO, maybe. I can't recall, but I believe there is. And you know, I think we needed those hires like last year. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's like we're here we are. Now we're seeing progress. It's just later than what we wanted. And I think that's where people are kind of like in the middle, where it's just like, like 2 more weeks, like here we go again. And it, like you said, it's like the psychology thing. But yeah, SoCal Homie said Frank 100% brought that on himself, though. He was the one who floated breeding rabbits. VeVe discounted the idea early on. So yeah, again, that's a good point. I mean, Frank did mention publicly without consulting with VeVe, without VeVe making any kind of announcement. So yeah, you be the judge on that. So that's pretty interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah. Cool, man. I think we've hammered that topic in, and like I said,
we did. I had to bring it up though. the breeding of the rabbits, man. It's just so goofy.
If people want to see the Frank and the VeVe drama firsthand, go check out Kyle's full recording. So on to
I'm gonna react to our own video, this own stream right now.
Hey, what kind of coffee are you drinking?
I'm drinking Hidden Grounds.
Oh, okay. Who's that?
It's by a gentleman named Chris Coffee. That's his real last name. He was like born with the last name Coffee.
Dude, the post office literally asked me, like, when I ship off coffee, they're like, "Is your last name Coffee?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want these randos to know my last name, like Kyle. Look, they know your last name."
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm doxxed. Yeah, man. So for the audience, real quick, this next subject, I just want to say on my channel, I'm not political. This channel is not political. We talk about it from an NFT perspective, an NFT market perspective, and a trading perspective. Kyle can say whatever he wants because he's a guest on this channel. But from my perspective, this is not political. So, Kyle, I have a question for you. Will Trump make NFTs great again?
Yeah, I don't know. No, there's been lots of controversy around this collection. Is it AI? Is it fake? Is it real? One thing's for certain, it's done really well. I mean, if you put $90 into this thing, it has made you money. So you can't deny that. So I debated to mint this or not, because I was like, it's the first NFT of a president, which, Trump
FA president, bro.
Exactly. So to Trump's credit, that is what it is. It is what it is. If this was Obama, I would still consider buying one. Or if this was Trump, I'm still considering buying one. So either president, it doesn't matter, whatever party, I would consider buying it for that reason alone. So because I want to make money, this one, again, interesting collection. I ended up not minting one. I was like, it's $90. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to even sell out. It did, to my shock and my surprise, and it did really well. So maybe I should have listened to my gut there for the pure flipping potential of it there. So, bro, hey, that's a Christmas present right there. I flip it. I make a Christmas present money, buy my gift a nice present for Christmas.
One, yeah, dude, I made a short about it and a video about it. And I was on Spaces with NFT Now, and they always ask for your alpha call at the end of the night. And my alpha call was that the Trump NFT, if it gets close to selling out, then mint some, because if it does sell out, it'll probably fly. And I got really sick that night, so I wasn't able to actually make the play. But I woke up the next day to it selling out, and then it being 0.18 the next day. And then after that, it just kind of like shot up. But yeah, there's 45,000 of these. The reason I didn't just buy blindly originally is because I didn't fully trust it. I still I know Trump has that video, or he has that video, and then there's that that part on Truth Social where he's talking about it. But I also saw in the terms and conditions that it talks about how these rights are owned by NFT LLC Inc. or NFT Inc. LLC, not affiliated with Trump, just being able to be used his likeness and his image. So I'm still kind of thinking that Trump just endorsed it and maybe got a paycheck from it, but he's still not behind the project. It's not it's I think, to my knowledge, I don't think it's Trump's project. I think it's NFT Inc. LLC's project that somehow, some way they got Trump to endorse, and then it did well. But from an NFT project standpoint, everything was so gimmicky. It reminded me of last year when projects would first launch, when everybody would buy everything, because it was very much hey, buy for a lottery ticket, you know, buy for I literally bought projects like this, buy for a chance to win a Lambo. That's what you got with this. If you bought one of these, you get a chance to have a gala dinner with Trump. You get a chance to have a golf round paid for at a really nice course. You get a chance, thousands of prizes, you know? So like, it's kind of gimmicky, like, to be honest. And then if you owned like a certain amount of them, you would get a guaranteed stuff. So the mechanics were, you know, they're okay. But because it was affiliated or possibly affiliated with the president, obviously it just like flew through the roof. But yeah, man, it flew to like 0.7. And I mean, you could smell a pump and dump from a mile away. Currently, while we're live right now, it's sitting at a 0.25 floor. So 0.25, for those that are just kind of familiar with USD, is around $250, $280. But we were looking at a 0.7 floor, you know, not long ago. So this thing did a steady, or it went up and then just went straight back down.
Almost 7,000 of ETH volume, which is insane for
Dude,
like a couple of days. That's not bad.
7,000 with a 10% creator fee. That means 10% of 7,000 in ETH goes back to the project. So they made a ton in secondary revenue off this project.
Yeah. If I'm that project, I'm just keeping that ETH for when it pumps again, when the ETH pumps. Yeah, well, like if let's say they get 10% of that 7K, you know, and you're holding on to the ETH, and then ETH pumps like in the next bull run, you know, that's all I'm saying. If I was them, I would be holding on to that ETH for the next bull run, or maybe I'm going off into stables and watching ETH drop a little bit more and then get my ETH back. So
that's the mistake people made. Which, granted, we're a lot lower now, but projects that sold out in January held on to their ETH thinking it was going to 10K. But you know, ETH went to 1K, you know, and then they collected at 4K. So they technically got an upfront revenue of like, let's say $1 million, but then their ETH went down, what, 80 or however much percent. So now they owe the taxes up here, but they have this much money because they didn't convert to stables. But right now it would probably be the opposite problem because like we're already pretty low right now.
Pretty low. Yeah. At most, I mean, if you got into stables, you could maybe get a 40-50% discount on ETH. I don't think it goes that low though.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, overall, this is a cook. This is a good opportunity. There's a lot of money made. There's an alpha group. I'll go ahead and just share this real quick, which, I mean, I don't love like when obvious plays like alpha groups brag about them, because it's kind of like, okay, anybody could have called that from a mile away. But people made some serious money. Let's see, NFT.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought a bunch of these, you're essentially just printing money. And if you got like a really rare one, yeah, that's a lot of money. Some of these
15 ETH, bro.
Yeah, some of these sold for quite a bit.
Here, let me I got this pulled up.
I mean, the chances you get a rare one is not that high, but still, you never know. I mean, that's a big come up. Yeah, 15,000, you know, all the way to $23,000. Like, that's a big deal during the holidays. I mean,
yeah, dude.
I mean, that's your holidays right there. Even if you're just doubling your money or like tripling your money on that $90, that's still double. You know, that's still nice.
Yeah, and these were sales at the highest ones were 0.21. Currently it's at a floor at 0.25. It got all the way up to 0.7. These people still made 23 grand, 14 grand, 11 grand. So there was still a lot of money to be made in NFTs during a bear market. You just really got to be looking for it. And obviously, like, it is all a gamble at the end of the day. But the president one, after it was found out that like there was a president actually behind it, that was kind of an obvious cook. And a lot of people slept on it, including us. But you know, there'll be more. There'll be a lot more. But this just shows that like things still run. There's still volume. Oh, another thing is this did pump liquidity in the market, and it was on Polygon, which I didn't love. The you see it says chain Polygon. The on-ramp to trading on Polygon isn't really easy. Like that's what a lot of people just got too lazy. I mean, even people that are like decently tech savvy, if you're not familiar with Polygon, it takes you like an hour to like set up Polygon wallet, get Polygon in there. Especially when you're sending it from some things. I read something the other day. Somebody tried to load up their Polygon wallet from this is a long time ago, from one of the exchanges. What's in it? KuCoin. And they said it took 4 months for it to transfer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it took 4 months for their Polygon transfer, but I was reading other people, you know, it took them hours to bridge Polygon. So like it's not the easiest.
Oh yeah, bridging Polygon last year was even slower than this year. So last year it would take like hours, like half a day or whatever. Now it takes like 30 minutes, but yeah, last year it was horrendous. Yeah, Polygon is definitely not the most user friendly, which surprised me. Like so many, I mean, I get the tech is good, their BD team's really good, but I'm very curious to see them stress tested with a lot of projects on their chain as well, and how the market reacts, like in terms of mainstream. And hopefully they'll have like the mainstream tools and on ramps that like Immutable already has. And I'm curious for Immutable too, see how stress tests they get during a bull market.
No, absolutely.
And if they succeed there.
Completely agree. I think another thing that's important to note before we move on from this is even though there's, I read a really good tweet the other day, even though there's 45,000 items, and we could actually look at the chain to see like how many wallets that are. A lot of these wallets are newbies that honestly just don't know how to trade. So like, I think somebody actually had the analytics, but like almost like half of these wallets only have one NFT, and it's like locked in a wallet that only has one NFT. So in other words, like it was just some newbie that bought it just to buy, which is okay. I mean, that's great. But like at the end of the day, like when you're looking at it, you almost like need to mentally cut that supply in half. Like instead of 45,000, I mean, it could really realistically be around like 20,000 available. And now that 20,000 available, you know what? I had never even looked at the holders. But
yeah, 15.3 thousand owners.
Holders. Oh, okay.
So 15K,
exactly.
and then
Yeah,
like
right here, yeah.
Like you mentioned, if some of those own two, and then as you mentioned, some of those have one, and they're like locked out because they don't even know really what NFTs are or how to sell it.
Yeah.
Then you could cut that down even more.
Exactly. So the supply is really like way smaller than it seems on paper. So that definitely played into this volume as well. And people were bored, dude. Like they wanted to throw their money at something. So like that was a really good opportunity. Because like as you said, like I had it pulled up earlier, but there's even like there's clear signs of the art being stolen from like that's kind of a stretch. I feel like the oh wait, hold on. The fashion thing, but some of them's pretty clear. This is the watermark from what is it called? I don't know. It's a watermark from another company, which is right here, but it's exactly the same little symbol. And I saw a lot of them that had like they still had the Adobe like logo on the NFT itself. Like it literally says Adobe in the background to where they like try to edit things out. So like this like somebody got mad like because they thought it came from a political perspective. But when I first covered this, I was just like, dude, the art's not good. Like it's like it's not like I like you said, I don't care if this is Obama, I don't care if this is Bernie, I don't care if this is whoever. The art wasn't good. It's nothing to do with who's behind it. It was just like not the mechanics of the project was a little gimmicky, and then the art was stolen. But I mean, it did well for some people, and there was maybe at the end of the day, like unless it's like obviously stolen from an artist, like maybe it's just utility backed is good enough, you know, like because that's huge, you know, especially for somebody who like would love a dinner gala with Trump. Like I mean, that's a pretty big raffle for the NFT space to be able to buy that. Or if you bought 45 of them, I think if you bought 45 of them, you get an automatic dinner with Trump, something like that. But yeah, anyways, that thing absolutely cooked. That's what happened last week. If you missed it, I made a couple of videos on it, a couple of shorts on it before it even sold out. After it sold out, and then kind of talking about everything around it. If you want to check those out on my channel. We'll move on to the next topic. We got some major Web3 news this week. Lots of different things. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the one that's an easy bridge from this. This happened today, Kyle. Polygon Wallet, our Polygon partners with MasterCard to create an NFT debit card. So you can like put your, I mean, it's not the newest thing. I guess it's just like easier integration, but you can like put your NFTs on your debit card. So, you know, you can put your little Trump NFT on your debit card if you wanted to.
Oh man, I don't know if I'd want to do that. But you know, if I did, people would know at the pump, or I guess at the gas station or grocery store, that you know you're into that and stuff like that. So I know some people might want to do that, but yeah, very interesting. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to put my NFTs on there. Like if I did Bored Ape, if I'm an ape holder, I'm probably not putting a Bored Ape on my credit card to show and flex like how much money and what NFT I have, because I don't want to get like robbed. But
Yeah.
you know, I might put a fiche on there. I don't know, because nobody knows what a fiche is but me, and I
Yeah.
think I might think that's cool. So kind of cool, you know, a little gimmicky, but yeah, not bad.
I do want to pause real quick and take note of this 16 watching and only 3 likes. If you're watching this, please like it. Helps with the algorithms, helps get us out there. Appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Kyle's channel. Helps us out a bunch.
Very bigly, like it, very bigly.
Very bigly. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Back to it. I completely agree with you. That inexpensive NFT, it's just like begging somebody to rob me. It's like pulling out thousands of dollars of bills and being like, "Hey, look what I got," you know, and I'm gonna pay with
Yeah.
just this. But yeah,
Don't mind my basic credit card. You know, it's like, don't now, you know, now you might follow me home after, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
I do think it'd be cool to put like just NFTs that mean a lot to you, like whether it's art or whether it's like some other projects. Like I have these
Art would be cool. Yeah. Art, regular art.
because it's also like word of mouth, man. Like it sounds so like cultish, but like people are gonna ask, "Hey, what's that on your card?" And you're like, "Oh, that's an NFT. Oh, that's cool." You know, maybe you can have a conversation about it. That's kind of my take on something that I invested in a while back. Let me pull it up real quick. It's like a very like bizarre looking. Are you a shoe person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I bought a really bizarre looking NFT that like grants you these shoes when they drop. So like these shoes like obviously like stand out, you know? And like my whole point of wanting to wear them is like I want to like people to be like, what are those? And I'm gonna be like, oh, actually, I bought an NFT and this is just part of the utility that came with it. I got these airdrop to me basically for free. You can argue that I paid for the NFT, so I paid for the shoes. But I also still have the NFT, and I still have any future utility that Puma drops. This is not brought to you by Puma, but it can be Puma if you're watching. Uh, but yeah, so I don't know, man. Like it's like a little weird evangelical approach to NFTs. Like I do think just like friends, family, neighbors, community, like hearing like about it more so than just pictures will go a long ways. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely word of mouth. You know, bridging digital to physical and vice versa. I think that's huge in Web3. I've always kind of said that for the since, you know, being a part of the VeVe community. But yeah, I think this is a easy way to bridge that. You know, like you said, like word of mouth and, you know, IRL, and getting the conversation started. Like, hey, how'd you get that? It's like, oh, actually, I owned a digital asset, or otherwise known as an NFT, and it can actually bring you, you know, in real world utility, or AKA free shoes. So it's a great conversation piece, and it's also a flex, and it's also like when the metaverse actually rolls out, a flex there too. So it hits two birds with one stone, and I think that's a great strategy, because, you know, NFTs are pretty low cost for the most part in terms of large brands, and I think this is a perfect way for them to combine and bridge the two different worlds together.
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine, like, so I don't remember how many of these shoes are dropped. I think it was 4,000 total split between this shoe and this shoe. Let's just assume that it was 4,000. I could be a little off, but like, it'd be cool if only 2,000 of this shoe exist in real life and in the metaverse. You know, that way, like, if my metaverse avatar is repping this shoe, people know, oh, there's only 2,000 of those. Same thing with real life, that for shoe collectors, doesn't even have to be in NFTs. They'll be like, yo, that's a cool shoe. Like, you know, like, and they'll want to ask about it. I'll be like, well, there's only 2,000, and most of them are probably already in people's hands that are never going to sell them. So, I mean, I think the shoe alone is going to be worth a lot. Even if NFTs die tomorrow, which we both know that's not going to happen, this shoe I think would still be valuable because, like, again, it's a custom made shoe by a large brand like Puma. So, you know, I'm looking
Oh
forward to it.
yeah. I forgot the Scottie Pippen shoes dropped today. I was considering buying one. There was only like 1,000 of them, and they do. I think a minute amount of holders get like the physical. It's totally random, and then another set of holders get like or like a smaller percent gets a lunch with Scotty or something like that. So
Yeah,
those are kind of cool too.
I saw a meme about that. I'm about to pull it up.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. Just talking about, here it is. Celebs coming into the NFT space. Scottie Pippen's entrance to Web3. Tweets about interest in NFTs is number 1. Number 2, follow multiple influencers. 3, pretend to care about the space. 4, launch a project. surely this one isn't like the rest.
Yeah, but I will say there's only 1,000 of those. And those will be compatible with like all metaverses. So I do like that one specifically because it is Scottie Pippen. It is tennis shoes in the metaverse, and you do get a chance of getting that physical. So for that reason, I actually do like this one.
Cool.
Versus like a higher edition. If it was higher edition, like 5K to 10K, I wouldn't even consider it. But
Yeah.
the fact that it was so low amount of editions, I actually do like it because again, when Scottie Pippen passes away, everybody's going to remember that NFT of Scottie Pippen, and everybody will always remember Scottie Pippen.
They've 2x since mint already, and it just minted out today. So
yeah, and
the 0.4 floor, they minted at 0.2. That's
and when the
$200
yeah, and when the metaverse becomes more relevant and at the forefront of people's minds, these shoes will probably matter a lot more when that happens too.
Cool, man. That would have been a good play. I didn't really know about it until I read that, like some tweets this morning. But again, I've been kind
again, his legacy is intertwined with MJ. So
yeah,
for that reason, you know, that's an actual collectible right there. Yeah, that's just not a celeb play, but in my opinion, that's a actual collectible, and not just a utility sneaker for the metaverse.
That makes sense. I was seeing if anybody. I was looking at wallet activity real quick to see if anybody notable bought them, but it doesn't really look like it. Lots of things are being bought today that are just like junk.
Yeah, well, those sold out too. So a lot of things. I noticed like Orange Comet. They're like one of those like, NFT agencies that like, help celebrities launch. Not all the projects they launch, I don't think have been successful. So this one did well. I think it was because of the lower editions and it's Scottie Pippen. So I think that's why this one did well. But they've done like, I think Kyle Busch or whatever, the NASCAR guy. I don't know if those sold out. There's a few of them. I don't know if that sold out, but I'm signed up on their email list. So I get all their like emails and all that good stuff.
And dude, honestly, the space is so small. Like, unless it gets influencer attention, it's not going to get other attention. So like, even like bad publicity for this probably helped it. Like that tweet I just showed you. Like, this is actually the first time I saw it. Was this like this guy kind of like making fun of it? Thread guy is actually pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, any publicity is good publicity, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for Scottie Pippen, it's like, oh yeah, like it sold out. So he's probably like, yeah, this is cool. So for him, it's increasing his brand awareness, and if he decides to launch like or like another collection of Scottie Pippens, maybe he starts his own small custom shoe brand. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's a comment real quick. This is kind of funny. Blockchain Comics says, "Who remembers exactly a year ago? ETH was at all-time highs and NFTs were popping, but you didn't sell." Nah. We've all been there, man. We've all been there. Everybody has pain, from that, which I think kind of brings it together.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to correct that bad, and nobody thought like we'd have bad macroeconomics. So everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna continue. It's never gonna go down. Like we're only gonna go like 45-degree angle up forever. Like metaverse is gonna launch like next year, bro. Trust me, bro." And obviously, that's not the case.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like you said, we couldn't have really predicted a lot of factors. So, I mean, we could have predicted like things are going up a little faster than they should have. But other than that, like macro factors happened. And I mean, most people didn't sell everything. Honestly, the people that are still, a lot of people are still here are like the most got free. Some people lost so much, they just quit. They just left the space. I mean, there's more tragic stories, but yeah, they just like don't trade NFTs anymore. But yeah, I was gonna pull this up real quick. Blockchain also said this is Yuga News is very big, and I agree. Yuga Labs names Activision's Blizzard exec as new CEO. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read this. It's Daniel Allegre. I probably said that wrong. Will be taking up the position in the first half of 2023. He served as president of chief operating officer at Activision Blizzard, the gaming company behind global hits like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. Yeah. So in statement announcing his departure from Activision on Friday, he agrees he's very proud of exceptional work of his dedication and the team's company brought by the gaming space. So And then it goes on to talk about the other side, which is the game that they're making, the MMORPG, the massive multiplayer online role-playing game connected to the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. He will help accelerate these efforts in a press release shared with NFT Now, which is pretty cool. NFT Now is, I actually still run their Twitter Spaces. NFT Now is the one that sponsored the event in Miami that I went to, that in real life event a week before getting my gallbladder out, and I was so sick. But NFT Now did a great job. Shout out to Matt Dev and the other founders at like renting out that space in Miami and putting on a great event. Yuga Labs says brings deep expertise in the areas that are critical to Yuga's ambitions for immersive Web3 world. I don't know about you, but that's incredibly bullish in my opinion for the Yuga ecosystem, for the NFT in general ecosystem, and specifically for the other side. What do you think?
Yeah, this is bullish for the BASE holders for sure, and the landowners, because they're getting somebody in there that has a lot of experience in gaming, specifically Blizzard and Activision. I grew up on all the games from those from that studio, so yeah, this is very good for them, good for the space as a whole. Even Kieran, who has been very skeptical of BASE just on what they've been doing, even tweeted that he was excited about this. So yeah, there's general excitement, I believe, in the space, the Web3 gaming space specifically, about this move into this specific news. So I'm excited about it. Curious to see what they'll do. They probably needed somebody with high level experience to build something that truly is that matters for gamers, and that's going to be a sticky experience, because a lot of these platforms or games, just what we've seen in the past 2 years has been just boring games and like terrible games and just games that don't really matter. And we have very few to really choose from. Or there are a lot of them they're building, and we have yet to see kind of an alpha, beta, or a full game launch, and we're still waiting on a lot of the games. So long term, this is exciting, and we'll see what happens. And I think Web3 gaming is the future. So
yeah, man, you make a lot of content on Web3 gaming, like more than like almost anybody I know. If you guys aren't familiar with Kyle, he's done multiple streams on Illuvium. I know you've been talking. What's that? I'm forgetting the name of the games. You've recently been talking about WAGMI Defense, but there's another one, another shooter that you played a lot of.
There's a few. Yeah, there's like Midnight Society, which is in alpha.
I'm part of Midnight Society. Yeah, are you part of that?
Yeah. I've known about it since before they launched.
Are you a holder of the Founders Pass?
Yeah, I bought one.
I didn't know that.
I didn't. I tried to get on there. Well, I was in the running to get to mint one for free, but I didn't get selected.
I don't remember. I mean, what? It was like $50 or something like that, right? It wasn't bad.
I don't remember, but
I minted mine. I paid for it, but it was like stupid cheap. It was like $50, I think.
There's a few games I've covered. I mean, there's Phantom Galaxies, there's Imposters.
Didn't play that. There's one specifically that looked really cool that you played recently, like maybe like a month ago.
There's there's a lot. There's EV.io, which is a basic browser.
I played that, yeah.
Yeah, basic browser. There's Call of Duty. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I guess they I don't know. It'll come to me later. But overall, I think this is pretty big news. The other deed price didn't react that much, so it was sitting at like a couple of weeks ago, it was actually like 0.85 on Blur. So like OpenSea is just like one of many marketplaces, of course. I just use it out of ease for these live streams. So like it's actually probably a little cheaper on this. You could probably get it on Blur for like 1.2 or something like that. But this was a 1.3 on OpenSea like maybe a couple of days ago. Now it's 1.4. So it didn't really heavily react to the news. And even on Blur, it didn't heavily react to the news. That being said, it's usually on like top traded. Yeah, it's got 216 Ethereum volume in the last 24 hours. Let's see in the last week. Have
you seen Gigamart marketplace yet? Elio just launched that one.
I have not. I didn't know Elio was launching his own marketplace.
Yeah, it's really clean. It's really fast UI.
Dude, OpenSea is getting better though. Like, look at this these the sales data and the prices, like everything, like the sales right here, like it's just getting a lot cleaner. All that to say, the price didn't react a lot. My only like one of the reasons I'm still kind of like on other deed is they still have 100K more to drop, to my knowledge. So like, I mean, that's a big supply, bro. Like that's gonna double the supply. Because right now there's like 100K items. There's 9,999. So if they drop another 100K, like, are these prices going to sustain? Like, I don't see it. But I don't know if they like. I don't keep up with the Yuga ecosystem, so like, I don't know if they went back on that or like maybe it's not happening until like years from now. But either way, that I know the day because I've actually been watching these for a while, and I almost bought them when they dropped to 0.85 a few weeks ago, and I wish I would have. I would have probably paper handed now, on this news. But all that to say, I know the day that I buy one and I spend 1 point whatever ETH, that they're gonna drop the other 100K, and that these things are gonna like cut.
I'm in the same boat. I'm waiting for this thing to drop again. I don't think, if they're building like this big game now, they just hired the Blizzard CEO. I just think it's still going to take a while. And I still think there could be a dip in price just with global recession. I just don't see how they could sustain if they don't release like some sort of alpha or some sort of like hype to generate off of. Otherwise, I would expect these to drop again. So,
yeah.
And 99K land plots, that's quite a bit. I mean, what I've learned with Sandbox is if you just held sand tokens instead of the land, in the bull run, you would have made a lot more money just holding sand tokens instead of the land. So,
so maybe ApeCoin is the play, maybe not other deed as far as like
exactly
not financial advice, but as far as like a economic play, I guess, would go. If you're buying this for the game, then obviously like other deeds your way to go. But like if you're trying to like make a play, then maybe the tokens would be a better play.
Yeah, I mean, land, we don't know. You don't really know what the land's going to even be used for. At least I'm not super involved in that community either. Like, but at least with Illuvium, you know exactly what you're getting with your land. And that's, I mean, the price has been pretty consistent. I mean, 0.5 ETH or so. I think it might be down a little bit more. SoCal Omi Homie might have to let me know what the prices are over there. But they've been super consistent with the land price. I don't know if you can hear my daughter, by the way.
It's all good, man. I
can you hear her?
I can hear her. Yeah, I can hear her.
Okay, let me turn on noise reduction here.
I mean, and that's our biggest topics. Again, like Kyle, I personally would like to do this more often. Just talk about the biggest news in VeVe, talk about the biggest news in the space, and like what's happening. If you guys like this type of content, I know I said it earlier. Like, be sure to interact with this video. Leave a comment, not just now, but like after we actually upload the video, and let us know like if you want us to do this more often. We did it on Kyle's channel last time, got some really good feedback. We're on my channel this time, and I really am thinking about just making this into a podcast too for people that might miss it, might not care about
the video,
looking at your potato, might not like looking at your potato quality camera. So like,
send us donations so we can buy better equipment.
This is ASMR. Better equipment.
ASMR. Basyland sucks.
Oh man,
I'm kidding. No, I'm just saying. I hope they drop so I can buy one.
Yeah.
No, I will be looking at both of the token and the land and seeing what better value is. I think the value is what people should be paying attention to, not necessarily like, oh, land is exciting and it's metaverse. Like, let's be real. It might take a while for them to build a game.
Oh, dude, it's going to take them a while, but definitely bullish news getting as somebody said in the comments, Web2 CEO going full-time into Web3. Like, that is pretty bullish because there's not that excuse of, oh, they don't know how to build a game. Like, they're getting a CEO of one of the biggest gaming companies in the world to build their game. So
yeah,
like, they absolutely know, like they're going to know how to build a game. So like, again, that's bullish to me, but what's not bullish is the fact that they might drop another 100K additions.
Yeah, the thing with Illuvium too is I think technically they could drop like more land too. I'm just trying to like give everybody a full perspective of land and like actual like good land. But like Illuvium, they have like opted to like not sell land for a long time, or they could decide, since it is a DAO, they could decide not to drop land at all. So, and
cool.
they've already publicly said that. So, it's positive for landholders now. So curious. I don't know if Basie will do the same because they have like they have the I guess like the first mover advantage type of thing, and people are just hyped for no reason about them a lot of the time. So, by the way, you're getting some nice.
Yeah, dude, your subs are coming over to my channel. What's up with
No.
this, bro? This is
These are your subs, bro.
This is
These
Kyle subs right here, man.
no.
Please don't click those links. Those are spam.
It's Justin's burner account. I see him in the chat.
Bro,
it's his burner.
Justin popped up on the chat, followed by a couple of those, man.
Yeah, Yuga News is big. It's big. Yeah, it's very big. It's very big. It's bullish for Web3 games for sure. And that's good for ecosystems like Immutable X. Huge. It's very bigly. It's very huge.
That's the last thing we could talk about because I know you know a thing or two about Immutable. Today, somebody I don't want to say I respect, but he's a big name in the space. He was at NFT Now in Miami. He was a co-founder of one of the biggest blue chips in the space. Anyways, enough of the introduction. I'm trying to find his actual tweet. Basically, he's getting back to buy Immutable. I know I sent you that tweet earlier this morning because me and you talk about Immutable all the time. But I feel like that's kind of bullish because anytime something like gets around in the space, like the right people, money pumps in, dude. Like Alex Becker, for example, Alex Becker and one other major influencer talked about Immutable when it first started. Alex Becker mentioned Moody Crow.
It was me.
Yeah, it was you and Alex Becker and me. Talked about Moody Crows and talked about Astro Bros. And there was so much money that came into Immutable X. So like people like belittle how much like these people can bring into the space. So anyway, somebody like Ryan Carson talking about Immutable X is pretty good. Oh, what the heck? Here we go. I guess he's talking about his POAPs. You know, the project you are second POAPs for. We just signed our first partner at Immutable, so that's pretty big. And for those who don't know, POAP's a proof of attendance. I shared a POAP on one of my tweets. If you're following me on Twitter, if you're not, then dang, that sucks. Because Kyle got like 50 of them, but they were wieners from a Wienermobile. And if you scanned the QR code, if you were there in person, or if you looked at my tweet, you got a wiener drop to
FA wiener.
FA wiener. So congrats to those that snagged one of those. Or
hey, what's up, Sleeping Comics? More Fire, Kyle and Chris, major influencers. You know what it is, Sleeping. Man, I love Sleeping, man. I had a great talk with him at DCon. Amazing, dude.
Me too, man. Me too. Sleeping. Shout out to him. Thank you for coming by. He's been live streaming a little bit too. I've tried to stop by a couple of his live streams. But what were you gonna say about Immutable?
Oh, yeah, like a guy like Ryan Carson, Tom Bilyeu, you know, they can have a lot of influence. I mean, Bilyeu mentioned VeVe like once in his like podcast or whatever, and I think the VeVe market like reacted pretty positively to that. But yeah, like you said, like in the beginning, Alex Becker mentioning Immutable, at least when the market's healthy. Obviously in the bear market, things are a little bit different, but even in the bear market, you know, when there's nothing to do and you're noticing more and more partnerships, like, and you're seeing the pattern that you're seeing more projects move to Immutable X. In platforms like Immutable X. I mean, Polygon's cool and too, but this is really bullish considering that a guy like Ryan, who had success in Web3, major success in the Moonbirds, is partnering with Immutable, and that's bullish for the ecosystem for platforms like VeVe. If you're big into VeVe, this could mean more liquidity in the ecosystem, and that's good. Yeah, that's very good. And people always like assume I'm talking about the IMX token. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Like, I'm always talking about ecosystem. As you know, Chris, when you're on OpenSea, you enjoy like that macro NFT space because there's always like liquidity floating around if it's good projects. And that's what I really like to focus on is ecosystem versus like focusing on tokens all the time.
Yeah. Well, last year at this time, I traded on Immutable X like every day, dude. Like every night is my nightly routine to swing trade or like trade immediately on IMX or to like find projects, find alphas and like tons of alpha groups. and then the liquidity left the market, you know, because like
Got sucked out. Yeah.
everything dried up, liquidity left the market, and it was pretty much dead until Gary V book games came back, and they kind of pumped some liquidity back into the market, and then it's been like up and down. I mean, actually, instead of just talking about this, we are about to wrap up to respect Kyle's time. We're going to try to keep this at the hour mark. I think
We're respecting Chris's time though more.
We are just at that. I just want to go ahead and show what I'm talking about instead of just, you know, like putting words out there. Let's look at this.
Yeah, we want facts, bro. We need receipts.
So unique owners is going up, but that also just means people can be stuck bag holding. So that's not necessarily the best metric. If we're looking at trade volume, this goes back. I mean, right now we're at 365 million trade volume in December. In November, we had 1 billion trade volume. I don't know what that was about. Why can't can we go back further on this chart? I don't like how it's only like it's not showing like back in January and stuff. I'm sure there is a way, but I'll find out later. Maybe next time we can kind of go into this a little bit.
I think those millions, in the millions there.
But I remember it was like in the billions for sure in December and January.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Gods
so volume
Chain, like man. Shout out to Gods Chain. They're so consistent with their volume.
Yeah, dude, I played it one time and it like bugged out on me, so like I didn't play it again. But that's another thing. A lot of this volume is from gaming. Because like again, like Kyle said, 7 days, 30 days. All right, let's just take this. The all-time dude, this is insane. All-time high volume on Gods Unchained is $116 billion.
More than book games, more than Gary V.
More than book games, and then the closest one that even comes to that is, I wouldn't even count Immutaswap, would be this like 9 billion, which is Hero. You know, you're very familiar with Hero, the trading cards, you know. So, and then Illuvium Land at 8 billion. Shout out to Kyle for doing that sellout. Like sellout as in like you helped sell it out or whatever. Yep. Not
Immutaswap.
Not that you're sellout.
Check out Immutaswap there at the bottom.
Jin,
number 10 all
good
time.
Good morning from Australia. Good morning, my fellow Australian. I feel like all Australians love coffee. Maybe that's a stereotype, but like I have so many Australians on Twitter be like, "Yo, do you ship your coffee to Australia?" Just like, I mean, if you want to pay shipping, maybe, but I haven't tried that yet.
Dude, I actually like Ember Sword. I saw some of the game footage. I kind of like that 2D like world. It reminds me of like Pokemon, but like cooler. I don't know. That's one I have an eye out for. Dude, if it dips further.
There's a Pokemon-ish NFT coming out that I got some alpha on that we'll have to talk about next time we meet up on here.
Is it Illuvium?
If this video gets enough interaction after it's posted with likes and people letting us know if they actually like this style of content, because if people are just lurking, I'm gonna withhold that alpha.
So Sleepin said, hope you're feeling better. Chris, always looking good. I have a theory that Chris was lying. He actually got fake abs put in. I think that's really what happened.
Don't make me show you my belly button on camera, bro.
I heard that's a thing though. Like you can actually, I didn't know, but I think you can actually get fake abs. Like I think that's a real thing. I didn't know that till like a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
I'm having a nice strong coffee. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's like the weight loss surgeries, and I know you can get like a Sharpie and do it. But yeah, man, I got my gallbladder sucked out of my belly button like a week and a half ago, and I had some complications over the weekend where I was at the emergency room, and I'm not gonna say them on air, but they were awful. Absolutely awful. Like one of the worst experiences of my life. But I'm 2 days out of the ER and I'm feeling a lot better. Good enough to be here. So thank you guys for still being with me. I did lose a couple of subscribers while in the hospital.
Need to track those subscribers down.
Yeah, bro. I need to find out who unsubbed, because like while
point a finger at him.
They're like,
dang,
Chris usually posts more than this, so I'm out. And here I am like in the hospital, like feeling like I'm dying. Like dude,
it's been a battle during this bear market, man. It's you know, yeah, losing subscribers, like keeping content. I'm trying to keep it flowing, like not necessarily. It's almost kind of like maintaining, and I still am kind of growing, but like at a snail pace. But yeah, like if I'm not putting out content, people are like unsubscribing. It's kind of like,
cool, dude. You're over 10K subs now. You're still getting good views, good traction, getting all kinds of stuff, man. I think you're killing it. You're putting out more content than almost anybody I know, in a good way.
Well, the strategy for me isn't necessarily like always do VeVe content in a bear. What's going to attract new subscribers to my channel is doing like maybe Immutable X or Web3 gaming content. And I'm still going to do VeVe content. But like as a content creator, you do have to mix up strategy. You know, and I have to fit it with what I love. I'm not going to do something like I'm going to do, you know, roadmap updates. You know, and to me that's not like exciting, and I don't want to do that just to, you know, get my views up.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, man, for sure. But yeah, you're doing a really good job at it. Obviously, everybody here is probably already subscribed to you. That's in this thing, but if not, you know, go check out Kyle's channel. I have it in this link on the YouTube.
Muchas gracias.
Goes live goes live a lot. Posts a lot of videos. Let's see your short game. You did do some shorts lately. I'm proud of you. I saw your Todd one was really cool.
Couple of them, yeah.
I'm a shorts guy, man. I feel like I post more shorts now than I do. They're just so fun to edit. And
yeah, I noticed you having fun with it, man. I like your shorts. Your shorts are probably the funniest in the VeVe community, and like the best. I haven't seen too many VeVe shorts. I've seen a couple, but they're like more like super specific, like the Todd McFarlane today is that like I don't know, it's not like funny, and I like funny in shorts. I don't know.
I like to mix up my content, man, and like just kind of be different in whichever way, you know. So that's kind of what I aim to do. And I feel like with shorts, like in the field we're in, there's not like a ton of people doing it certain ways. So I like to do it those ways. I was interviewing people for a while, and I just noticed more people starting to do like NFT interviews. And I was like, hey, I was doing that before it was cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's been kind of funny watching people go like that.
It's easier to do these shows for me than to do like interviews all the time, because it requires so much effort, and then the timing, and then like I don't know, and the video editing takes a long time. So I try to like stay, like I used to love interviews. It just takes so much time though. And like, as you know, we're both dads, like it's just like kind of a time suck. And I'm like, I gotta watch my kids, or, you know, I gotta go eat dinner with my wife and spend time with my wife. So
that's why this needs to be the NFT Dad podcast. If it's voted upon by you guys. Also, by the way, there's 19 of you in here. I don't know how many likes there are because I don't have it pulled up, but please be sure to like the video for the YouTube algorithms, interact, subscribe to me, subscribe to Kyle. Much appreciated. We love doing this, and it helps if you support us in those absolutely free ways.
Vote by giving a thumbs up.
Ooh, I need to do those
for free.
You're so in on your chat. Like you do like polls and stuff. I need to start doing that. You need to teach me, man. Like
I stole that from Paul Barron. Yeah, I tried to involve chat as much as possible. You know, always kind of from the beginning, I love to do just a scrolling chat. It automatically pops up and all that good stuff. So I don't know.
I like that too, chat being on screen. Speaking of which, Stidwack said, hope you guys are doing well. It's a pleasure meeting you both at DCon.
It was a pleasure meeting you too, Stidwack.
All I see is your PFP right now, so I don't really.
I'm just trying to picture what that looked like.
Kyle's BSing you. I don't remember.
I have photographic memory, so if he sends me a pic of like what his face was, I'll actually probably remember it.
Yeah, I remember faces. I don't remember. Well, I don't even know if anybody introduced themselves as Stidwack to me, so I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of people I've never seen their face before, and which was like so great meeting people. But they would come up to me and they'd be like, "Hey, Chris, what's up? You know, I'm on. Well, they told me like their handle. Then
I'm the guy from the thing. You know, the guy from the thing.
I'm just like, I've never seen your face before. I don't know who you are. And then they're like, oh, you know, it's me at, 42069 Turtles. And okay.
I got a couple of those. I
know who you are. Okay, that's cool. But, you've never doxed yourself. So, like, how was I supposed to know?
I know. Yeah. I had a lot of anons from Twitter. They're like, yeah, man, I'm XXYZ-040X-ETH.ETH. And I'm like, sweet. But DCon was so fun, man. I'm not very good with names at all, and it takes me a while before I remember people's names. Even like other VeVe content creators, I had trouble remembering a couple of people's names. We have a lot. It's a big community now, so So, but it was fun. It was a blast, and I look forward to going to more events in the future.
Ayo, me too, man. Me too. And I want to bring my fam next time because
Me
I
too.
feel like DesignerCon itself was so cool. I never had time to experience the full thing because like we were so like meet people, which I wanted. That's why I was there. I was there to meet people. But like DesignerCon was awesome. I didn't really get a chance to like slowly walk around the entire thing. Because I mean, dude, it would take like it would take you like almost a full day to actually like go to every booth, see what they have to offer and stuff. Like I got to glance.
Oh,
But
it's so big. Yeah,
yeah.
I my heart wants me to bring everybody, but I feel like if I did, it'd be like super exhausting. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just want to go back to the hotel.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. So we are at that hour mark. I just want to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and say hello, drop in chat, just watch, lyric, whatever. If you're watching this later, thank you. Go subscribe to Kyle if you're not already. Get them to
Go
20,000.
subscribe to Chris.
What's your next milestone? Is it 20K?
100K.
100K. Okay, so you're not going to care about 20K, 50K, 80K. You're not even going to be like, yo, thank you for
No.
the 50K. You're just going to be like,
No,
I
I'm
want to get
kidding.
100K.
No, I care about a lot. You know, I care about like I know literally like even the bad comments I get on my channel. Like I know everybody, and I look at everybody's comments, and you know maybe they have valid points even if it's negative. So I do care about like all the subscribers, and not just like all the positive ones. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
so each number matters to me. It's always been about community. From kind of day one, and I think that's translated well. Like, you know, you've been a part of this community for a long time, and just as long as me. And I think that, you know, we being kind of the older content creators, I think that's having a positive effect on the rest of the community. I think people see that, and that resonates with a lot of people. So yeah, so it's been fun to be a part of the process, and that will continue. That's not going to go away. That's 100, if I'm at 20, 30, 40, 100,000 subscribers, like I'm not going to forget people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may take me a while to remember people's names, but I won't forget faces, and I don't forget, like, I remember handles more than I remember people's names. I don't know why, but you know,
You're going to be like an NFT. You're going to be authentic.
We must build 200K. I'm such a degen on your channel. Like when me and you get together, I turn into a degen. So that's just how
goes from professional Kyle to degen Kyle. But
no,
yeah,
just degen.
That's the
Yeah.
fun part of that's the fun part of these lives and these maybe podcasts. Is, you know, you get to loosen up. People get to like know you a little bit more, other than the like, all right, I have 10 minutes to construct this much in a video, and I want to present it well. You know, so some people might not care, but like some people are looking for that professionalism. You know, like they don't want you to be like, here's what's going on in the market. You know, this is happening and this is happening. Yeah, thanks. Hit the subscribe. You know, like they want you to be like, this is what's going on in the VeVe market. You know, in case yeah, which makes sense.
X, Y, Z.
It keeps you more alert and keeps you more focused, and then you have to put a lot more effort in, whatever. But these are fun. They're authentic. And, you know, we didn't even get to talk about this, and I don't really want to talk about it right now. We can talk about it next time. But like at the end of the day, AI is going to replace a bunch of us. So the only way to stay ahead of the curve is to be authentic, because AI is not going to be authentic. And that's a debate in itself. I lean on the side that AI is never going to be authentic. And that's what's going to like differentiate like humans and stuff. But like there's already AI content creators that are going to be doing a better job at delivering content, editing content, and putting out videos than human content creators. But that
better than Cavell?
Better than Cavell, yeah, much better than Cavell. Cavell's side business is probably AI. Who freaking knows? But you know, like I don't know. He won't tell me. I asked him like 5 times, like publicly.
Have you seen Descript?
No.
Oh, it's pretty sick. It utilizes AI and will delete all your and like your like spaces in between your video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I've seen a lot of cool AI like editing programs as well.
But continue. I was like, you had me on the seat of my, you know, the edge of my seat here.
Yeah. So, anyways, all that to say that you can't rely on artificial intelligence for that authenticity. You can't. Like,
no, I was laughing at Stidlock's comment.
They're not going to personally relate to a computer. So like they will relate to people. So like people that are like being sellouts and being fake and just like putting out content for the heck of it, they're going to mix in with the AI. And then people that are authentic aren't, and people will find out real quick which ones are which. There's your reality check. If you've made it this far in the video and you're still watching for whatever crazy reason, there's your take that with you and know that you're probably going to be replaced by artificial intelligence in most fields. So find a way to separate yourself. Chris, you took my pick with Reese during the interview recording after he said, "Hi, I'm Reese. I'm an alcoholic."
While I think that comment's freaking hilarious. I died when I read that. We need to screenshot that and send that to Reese. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna screenshot that right now. Actually, everybody smile. All right, cool.
To say butt cheek.
No, I think that AI can replace a lot of people. I think that it's going to be very hard for AI to knock off completely content creators. I think it'll have its place in content creation and a video editing process, thumbnail process, even the content. I've experimented a lot with the AI in the actual video too, and it can basically do text to speech and do slides. And there's certain apps that do the avatar, it looks real. I've seen that too. But these interactions right here, me and you, that's going to be a while because the articulation.
I hate that it's even a while, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, it will, because if you get too much AI into the algorithm and it's just learning from other AI, it's going to look very unnatural. And so it needs humans to learn more. And even these interactions here, there's so many nuances to AI. Now, long term, yes, I still think it's going to take 5, probably 10 years for it to fully be realized at the actual level we're thinking, where it's it could be two AIs talking to each other. I've seen that in text. Text chat is very easy to do, but to emulate body language, movement, gestures, reactions, it can fake it and it look really good doing that. But then there's natural language and I don't know, there's so many nuances. It could be shorter. You're right. To your point, it could be it could be sooner for sure, but it'll be very hard for AI to compete for that.
Next time we go live, I got some videos to show all of you guys. That's going to blow your mind. Only if people interact with this video and like the video for the YouTube algorithm.
Only if you refresh the page right now, so it counts as another view. I'm totally kidding.
I'm just gonna keep refreshing. We're gonna lose a ton of viewer. I don't know where the little view.
It'll drop for a second, but then the views will go up. So refresh your page.
We're ending the stream anyways. So
go back, click forward, come back into the stream. Good morning from Australia. Gosh, Aussies, man. All right,
I'm gonna quit rambling, bro. Yeah, you got to be on chat, man. When I'm in chat and I see no offense to my fellow content creators, when I see a content creator way behind the chat, unless you got tons of people, I'm just waiting forever to get to my comment. I'm just man.
I like it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
I'm just kidding.
All right, we're gonna end on that. Thank you, everybody. Be sure to subscribe. Love y'all. Bye.